Welcome to Studio 58A Live here at the Jamaica Information Service, our discussion program coming to you live on Facebook. I'm your host, Vaughn Davis. Thank you to everyone joining us online wherever you are. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for your eyes. And like how we have your attention, do us a favor now. Share that video with a friend or 2 or 5,000 so we can have a very lively discussion. Yeah. And as you watch, remember to send in your questions and your comments so we can put them to our guests. Now, I am someone who believes that everybody has a talent. Something that they are very good at that distinguishes them from other persons. However, because of the way our society sometimes operates, many of us are led to believe that if our talent doesn't fall neatly into specific professional categories or have some obvious money-making element to it, we should just file it away as a hobby or even just ignore it completely. You probably have a parent or an elder telling you to stop, waste time and go take your book. Let me tell you that in 2020, that mindset needs to get put in a barrel and sent down to Riverton City, cause it wrong. The goal of every person for 2020 should be to generate multiple streams of income. And a very good financial advisor once told me that the key to doing that is learning your creative talents and utilizing them to the best of your abilities. But how exactly you do that though? Well, today we have in studio a man who might just have the blueprint. We're here with professional dancer and artistic director for the Dance Xpressionz, Orville Hall. Welcome.
Blessed love, man. Respect. Thanks for having me,
We're glad to have you because we understand that you're a man who has turned a love for dance into a really fulfilling career. And as I say, you might just have the blueprint for others who might be out there thinking that, I have this thing that I like doing, but I don't really know how I can take it and make a career out of it. So,
yeah.
Let me begin at the beginning. How did Orville Hall fall in love with dancing?
All right. As anybody who know me, ever have a conversation with me, always hear me tell them, me never choose dance chose me, okay. And that whole thing took me right through my whole life. The more I go through is the more I realize that dance actually chose me. Okay. Is the first thing I think about when I wake up and is the last thing I think about before going to bed. I tell people, if you feel that, and whatever it is that you feel, that you think about before you go to your bed at night, and think about first thing when you wake up, that's what you should be doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
So that was it was ever since just inbound from when you were small.
Yeah.
So when you were coming up and you were dancing and doing anything, did you have people in your ears telling you, boy, we're gonna take your book now, man, know the dancing thing, man?
Yeah, it took quite a bit of convincing my parents, because and what is ironic is that my parents used to dance, but they were like community dancers, we just have fun in the community. So when I looked like I was about to take it up as a profession, them never see that as being a profession. It's something you're doing in your community in your spare time. And when you're at school, it is, if it is even in school, it is dubbed as extracurricular activity. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So that was, and so you just, so when was the decision? When did you make the decision personally that, what? Dancing,
Yeah.
Dancing is the path I have chosen, and I'm going to create a lane for myself where I can dance and be successful at it.
I think it was after finishing secondary school, It's after finishing secondary school, and that is when it got really difficult because at that time it was, everybody thought that you had to be going to UTech or a UAR, one of those places to pursue something in different things. Whether it be finance or whatever, or science or business or them something. So I kept wondering, why is it that this passion for dance keep propelling me to say it can be something that can be a career choice, and I think I started venturing in doing different things. At the time, one of my schoolmates got into, his father was a shoemaker, so he learned the art of making shoes. So we really started out by saying, suppose you make some shoes and we find a place where we can go model it, but in a kind of dance vibe, dance and tell people, say, you make the shoes them, and, so it was from as far back as then we started doing this kind of thing. And more encouragement came from friends around me who say, youth, this thing that you're doing can take you far if you're really serious about it. And then you had the other friends that was saying, you need to preach something that is more serious because this might not take you the distance. It was 1998 that I met Mr. Kenny Salmon, who was at the time the head of the Performing Arts Department, and literally asked him, how can I get into this department? Because now I'm hearing about a Performing Arts Department that encourages education in the arts, drama, dance, music, instrument playing. So I hopped at that opportunity. So this is one of the things we would like tell the youth them as well, that education is really key. It's just to find, because almost every area in life, there is something in that area that speaks to more education. So it's not that you have to go to UA, go sit down, or UTech, go sit down and deal with the things that happen there. But you can find a performing arts institution, and you can find an institution that teaches you different things that you see as your career choice. But you absolutely have to be a student of your craft. You have to be a perpetual student of your craft. So you have to seek higher education.
All right, so that's so if you're paying attention to that is step one. You might not be at UA, but find some knowledge. Find persons, wherever it may be. It might be a person, it might be a school, whatever the case may be. Find somewhere you can start, go deeper into the passion that you have, and learn more about it. Because it must have a history. It never just dropped from the sky.
Right.
And just exists there like that. You have to understand how to do it so you can take it further. As I said, talent without practice and learning and understanding will take you so far.
Yeah.
All right. So you met this gentleman and you said, all right, how can I go further in this dancing thing? What was the step after that?
The step after that was getting into the program. And I rarely tell this story. When I got into the program, because I graduated from a secondary school, and we are talking about in the 80s now. And what I graduated with, my parents wasn't able to afford me taking CXC subjects. Okay. So we did something called SSC. And when I graduated with SSC, nobody in the working world wants to say SSC. If you have CXC subjects, then you're not going anywhere. So this is what I was traveling around with until when I met this man in 1997. I met Mr. Salmon, and when he told me about the program, eventually in 98, I explained to him that the program requires 4 CXC subjects, and I don't have any. So him said to me, all right, if I get you into the program, will you pursue these? There's a section that you can pursue the subjects while you're doing the program at XED. Okay. And that is what I did. So, pursue them.
So you did the dancing, but you made sure to get
get the formalities. So this is why I can speak on both sides of the fence. So what I did, because I wasn't really working a steady job at the time, it's still just a hustle. So getting into the program, I said to him, can I teach dancehall at the college? Because I would be like a student teacher to help to pay my tuition. And that again was a task, because XED Community College is a Methodist institution. So dancehall was a little... Of
course, that they would have been resistant to that. So naturally appreciate that.
So now, and this is why I have to say, Mr. Salmon, anyway, you stand up, brother, and Patsy Ricketts helped me to formalize how to teach dancehall, where the college would accept it, and I could be a student teacher. And I stayed at the college, and we were the guinea pig set. It started out as a certificate program. Then it was developed into a diploma program, and I stayed and did the diploma. Then it developed into an associate degree, and I stayed and did the associate degree. And then I stayed on for another maybe 7-8 years as a full-time teacher. So XED Community College is really the first college that had a dancehall course outline written, and it was being taught there. So and that was based on myself, Mr. Kenny Salmon, and Patsy Ricketts, who formalized that. So that was one of the things that historically I can take a pat on the shoulder for, and say, we developed that. So
naturally, if you're doing that, you would have had to have put together a curriculum. If you're going to teach, naturally you need a curriculum. So talk to me about the process of creating that, because another one of the elements of the blueprint of monetizing your creative activities, abilities, is to kind of make yourself an expert.
Yeah.
Establish yourself as an expert so that when persons see you, they hear the name, they're familiar with it, they can say, yeah, man, we can vouch for that, man. He's been doing it for a while and he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me about that process of creating this curriculum that you would in turn teach to the students who came to the school.
Well, the process went all the way, you know. We seeked out all the persons who are versatile in curriculum development, and we had sessions with them. They came and sat with us and told us, you know, some of the components that might be a little too raunchy for the program and all of that. So we went through the whole thing. We had different seminars, different people coming in and speaking to us and giving us a complete breakdown. So it was, we got the help because they were I would call them visionaries that saw that this is something that in the future we are going to need.
So talk me through, what was your mindset at the time? I mean, having gotten to this stage now where you say, all right, left school, don't really have any subjects. Now I'm at Xed, not only am I enrolling, I'm teaching dance. I'm doing, you know what I mean? You find the lanes start open up and you can start see yourself doing dance, but at the same time earning from it and then having a career and that kind of thing. So what was your headspace like at that point in time, if you can recall?
Well, at that point in time, is just building a brand. Even from there, I wanted to build the brand, the Orville Hall brand. And when we were there, what the opportunity we got was the dance festivals every year. So every year, it was a production to put dances together, to go to festival, to come home with gold medals, to show people, you know, the credibility of the department, because we also had to prove our worth, because for many persons it was a trial and error.
Exactly.
The performing arts department at Xed was a trial and error, and we had to be bringing in medals, not only in dance, but you know, I also did production, teaching production and drama. So we had to be developing these areas to take out to the festivals and then make the school realize our worth. So for me, I was super excited to have this program actually being taught at Xed. So we were trying to find out, how do we develop more and more this program where we can have a stage 2 of it. You know?
Push this over.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
No, like I said, you gone through the steps, you know. I mean, to me, this is just amazing to me, because I mean, you're just skipping over it, and it seemed like nothing to you, but to me, it's like a big deal, you know, because there are many children many youngsters right now who are in a similar situation. They may have left school with no subjects or whatever the case may be. They have a passion for something. Could be shoemaking, could be carpentry, could even be dance. Yeah, man. And say, boy, I'm bad pan the dance, you know, but I mean, many persons probably might think the only way is to like go some sessions and then open your cameraman see and your boss, so to speak.
At one point, that is what it was.
And then, but you're saying there's a different path.
Yeah, man.
You made a connection with a school, you made a connection, and so you use that as a means to fund your own education and then be able to express yourself and then earn from it as well. Yes. So I find that extremely, extremely integral, because that's integral to the story, because people need to understand that the mindset need to shift. So I want you to talk about shifting the mindset to appreciate that, you know, how I can do this is not how I thought I could do this. Or I see it bigger than the playing field is bigger than I originally thought it was. Right. So how did you come to realize that there was more to this? I could do more with dance than what I originally thought I could do with it.
Just being at Xed and realizing that everything that you put your hand on, you have to be a student, like I say, a perpetual student of the craft. You have to seek higher knowledge. All right, the first thing is when we reach Xed, the first time, and this was a challenge, going to festival, winning gold medals, and having people say, yo, you're good enough, and thinking that, all right, I'm now at the peak of my dance career. Then you realize that Stella Morris, Dr. Monica Lawrence, saw me at festival and say, you have talent. I think I would like you to come and dance with Stella Morris Dance Ensemble. Now, this opened up a whole new avenue, because this is now modern contemporary and traditional folk form and all of this. then I realized now that apart from dancehall that I am versatile in, there is traditional folk form that I was absolutely ignorant to, which is this is not something from a different country now. We're talking about
exactly.
We're talking about we're talking about Kumina, Brookings, Dinkimini, Tambo. We're talking about all these things that are a part of our traditional folk form. So the excitement grew now because now there's so much of the underlayer that has contributed to dancehall that I don't know nothing about.
Exactly.
So now we realize that we are digging deeper now. Did you know that Kumina is our first authentic traditional folk form, the only one that has not been touched by European hands because it came straight to us from the Congo to the shores of Jamaica? Did you know about the influence, the different drum beats in tambo, and that tambo is from Trilanian? So there was so much more that I was learning, and then learning now the discipline of basic ballet and modern contemporary, what the body is supposed to do, knowing that as a dancer you must learn about anatomica, you must know about your body, you must know about there's a whole class for injury prevention, what not to do, not so as you don't injure yourself. So it was just amazing that there was this wealth of knowledge in dance. So for me, and I was lucky to be on both sides of the fence. At one point, I'm in a class teaching people, and then at the next point, I'm there. So when I'm speaking to my peers on any side, I am able to tell them that I understand from both sides that this is a youth from out of the inner city that was just doing it for the purposes of street and enjoyment. But the passion is there. And the minute I realized that there is higher education in this, you have to jump into it. So first you have to be open to understanding that there is higher education, and you yourself have to start taking the discipline now that tell yourself that I have to learn more. And this is why I encourage more. For me, one of the things I try to know is have more seminars for reach out to the youth, them in the inner city like myself, because at one point it wasn't open to me. It was almost like this part of dance was behind closed doors, because the first time I was going to go on stage with Stella Maris, it was very difficult for me to tell the youth them in my community, say, me go put my knees together and set my hands up. And the man must say, you're sure, say that you want to do. You're sure. Because that's something there, questionable. And I had to prove it to my friends. Like some of the brethren them where you'd call, look a brethren them. Yeah,
thugs them
make them forward and come see it, and when it finished, them can come and say, yeah.
So tell me, that is blueprint. That are quick tip number 2 and 3. Let's give 2 hours. Number 2, be willing to expand your range of knowledge. You might like dance, or you might like, for example, whatever you might like. You might be good at a particular element of it. You might, for example, you might be good at carpentry, and you can make shelf good.
Yeah.
You have to allow yourself to go deeper into the profession, so you can think to yourself, what else me can do with this? What else exists within the context of this profession that I can learn, and I can make myself a better professional? Or I will decide, say, boy, me I go learn ballet, me I go learn traditional folk forms, me I go learn as much as I can possibly learn about the discipline of dance, to be able to educate myself that you can expand what you can do with it, and consequently what you can earn from it.
Yeah, man. And it don't deter from you being adapt. Me didn't know earlier, so my specialty is always going to be dancehall. But what modern contemporary and ballet and jazz and them things they do is it enhance my dance skills. So there were more genres now that I could couple with dancehall to make myself a more rounded dancer. Because you can't tell yourself, say, you're a professional in a certain area and you're just looking at one genre. You can't be a professional dancer and you say you're looking at just one genre. Yeah. You're versatile at just one genre. You get what I say? You can decide, say, you're going to study one genre in its depth. Because when I talk about dancehall, like I'm going from I won't be able to do the same for ballet. You know what I say? But I can give you some surface knowledge about these genres that I've practiced. And it's not all the time I'm sitting in a formal classroom and learning it. I educate myself by opening a book, go find something on YouTube, and we are in a space now where the world is open to you. on Google and YouTube. So don't give the excuse that you can't educate yourself about it, because it's there.
And pro tip number 3, him just skim over it, what him said, he had to prove to him same peers, the friends of the corner, who when you decide to make a step and do something that is a little bit off the beat, even though we mentioned it before, but sometimes you might even have those who start with you and say they will support you at the start.
Yeah, man.
And then as you start go deeper into the thing, them start say, boy, I don't know, this look a little half color in a boss, man. You say, you know what? I go focus on myself and then push on and press on the side. Say, I want this for myself, so I have to just allow myself to go and see where it take me. You know what I mean?
The yearning was much stronger than what people had to say, but it still was a risk. And I talk about the time.
Yeah,
at the time that I decided to do it, it was a risk.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
We just show some love to the persons on Instagram. People are just throwing a whole heap of comments. Says, calm today. Say, man, get rich off a dance time. I go get rich off a laugh. Laughing a God gift to me. Me can laugh the best. This brother you're dep on another level. Me can learn enough from this brother. You talk to her about building the Orville Hall brand. So calm today. Have a whole heap of that brand they big like Gucci and
I don't know if I reach Gucci standard, brother.
But he might work on it. He might work on it.
Yeah, man.
Of course, the earning potential is tremendous. Glowheart Music says, oh my God, hi sir. He coached me in Miss Tourism Talent competition.
Yeah. Calvin. And I have Kenzik over here, so that was one of my students as well. Bless up yourself, my general. Yeah, man.
Glowheart's Music saying, yeah, it said practice makes perfect. I don't think, I mean, to me, that is just the first, that should be pro tip number 1. If you like something, you have to do it.
Yes, man.
You have to do it to the point where you can't get it wrong, where you sleep, where you wake up and you think about it, you just love it to the, from start to finish.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that people know about you, Orville, is that you travel around the world teaching dance or teaching Jamaican and dancehall steps to persons in parts of Europe, South America, that kind of thing. I wanted to know, how did that even come about? Because, I mean, did you even envision that was something that you could have done or realize that this at that point in your career?
No. 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 I was somewhere in the back of your mind, you know you want to travel and you'd like take this to the world, you know what I mean? But the humble beginnings that I came from, it was a distant dream. You want it to happen. But based on the things that I was doing and the fact that me go sit down in a school now and decide, say, I didn't see that opening. I was now saying, all right, God bless me for put me in an institution where I can teach. I think this is where.
I think you're going to just make your bed yourself, just make it stay there. So.
But when we wanted to develop the program and move to a next level, we were coming up on some snags, that didn't want to move the program forward. And then now, kick me off with that energy, light the fire. So now I can't douse the fire because it's burning. So I decide to say, all right, I feel like I have to step out and start my own thing. I have to start my own thing. And when that came up, that was again was a next challenging thing. You go on a one gym and you beg them a little space for one dance class, and you beg somewhere else, and sometimes that space they get used up and you have to move on to somewhere else. And the first time Dance Xpressionz said to me, I say a space, I think we need to try get into that space. When me hear the cost of the space, because we're in almost a center half a tree now, may I say, no, that not sound like we can't manage that. It's a dance studio we are talking about, right? Like and we are focused on dancehall. This is a dancehall dance studio, brother. So, may I say, then the history behind it was that the owner of the place had his daughter teaching dance in there, and after about 6 months, he have to tell her, say, shut it down because it now make no money, it now work. So it now work. So we are going into this space now, knowing the history of this place, and I said to the brother, say, when we're supposed to come up with a deposit, I didn't get to him that day. And as the day passed, the next day the man called and said, I'm nothing kind of serious about this, So we're going to forget it. I'm literally beg him, say, please, may I have the funds now for the deposit, may I forward down there. And we'll go down there. The long and short of it, we stayed 3 years at that place. We were not evicted from that place. We never get noticed from that place. I just moved into a bigger space.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So we spent 3 years at that space. So just by being there, we developed the first dancehall dance studio in Jamaica, which is Dance Xpressionz Studio, teaching dancehall to people locally. In 2000, it was about 2011. It was about 2011 when I went on Facebook and I saw some dancers in the US and a sister from France teaching some dancehall movements. But what they were doing is that they were taking the Jamaican dancehall movements and they were adding a few different steps to it and giving it a different name.
Okay.
So now me go up on Facebook and rant. Start a war on Facebook now, and then people start say, yo, you're bad mind and if you love people things and not one Jamaican dancer was there to
support.
So I start this thing and I say, but know what the problem is? I said the problem is dancehall never have a voice before. So for you can just go up on YouTube and take off on a feel like and tell people so now dancehall this and dancehall that, but it's wrong. Because them youth in Jamaica they didn't start travel yet. And one of them move or reconstruct it and I call it something different. And the war started. And then I get a message from a youth in Russia. And the man said to me, say, you know, I think mother like you come over here, come talk to some of the people. I mean, I said, Russia, brother? No, I don't know about that something.
Know about Russia.
But when I got to meet him and you know, visuals, I realized he's Haitian. And he went to school in Russia. And he must start a dancehall movement because he want people to be educated about it. Because I say, brother, have you ever heard me speak? I say, okay, I don't mince words, you know, like I go hard. And I say, yeah, but this is what I want.
All right.
So after trusting him now, we started in 2012, in the summer of 2012. And believe me, to date, I have 11 Russian visas. 11. And it's about a week and a half ago I came back again from Russia, working with the same brethren. And they were the ones that took me and then started putting me in Europe now to speak about dancehall. But I didn't take just dance, I took the history of the Jamaican dance culture to the different places. So it wasn't just about telling people about dancehall and showing people on the river, on the bank, you know, roll like a boat and re. I now say, let me do lectures telling them about Kumina and telling them about the evolution. Because different from talking about the traditional folk form, we have to talk about mento, ska, rocksteady, reggae,
it have a history,
80s dancehall, 90s dancehall, early 2000 dancehall. So we are so potent. The culture is so potent and so relevant. And if we allow people to just sit on YouTube and there's no voice behind it to defend it, then people will just come in and take what they want without even understanding. My biggest issue has always been misrepresentation. You know, people misrepresenting things that is in your culture that people died for. So like me tell a whole heap of people say, it's not just about the facts, say, or just take something off of YouTube and just do it, you know. It's the fact that you could be misrepresenting people who died for this.
Exactly.
We still have to talk about Ice, we still have to talk about Scampotini, we still have to talk about Bogle, we still have to talk about Laba Laba, who is not well but in his 70s, who helped to write these things. So how do we protect these things and how do we formalize it? Because one of the things when we hear in Jamaica here, and me I talk about from scholars and people in high places, when me just start that thing here, is that we don't have to formalize dancehall because dancehall is street dance. And my question to them is, tell me the dance that didn't start in the street. Ballet started in the street. Every one of them, they built institutions to house these dances. All of them are in the street, them start dance. Ballet, jazz, modern, contemporary, the whole of them. But other people formalize it. Why are we afraid to formalize our one?
So it sounds to me like the mindset that you have always taken with regard to dance is that it's more than just the moves where you do to feel good and so on. It's like, and I think that is instrumental in the ability to grow and develop it and make a career out of it, because you don't just see what is in front of your face, which is the dance step you saw and get the vibes going and the party shot and everything good. You have to see it from a bigger vantage point and say, all right, this as a movement has potential.
Yes, man.
Take it and do something with it.
And it's a part of, more importantly, preserving culture, preserving what we have, so it don't just fly out the door and our people take it and reconstruct it and do other things with it. Because we have influenced the world with so many things, with dance and with the music, you know.
No, so when you make this travel to Russia now, and what's in your mind when you, for example, going to make the first lecture, the first presentation? I mean, once again, you have to look back on young Orville. Could young Orville have ever fathomed anything like this? that boy mean a Russia.
Yeah.
And representing dance. The thing that people probably tell me, say, yo, go take your book, start wasting time and dance. And when you over there and about to do this lecture, what's your mindset at that point?
All right, the first thing is, man, look at 200 and odd people. I am standing, like, the biggest class I've ever been in front of might have been about 60 students at Exed Community College in the lecture theatre. Now I see 200 and odd students. So nerve setting, will they understand? Will they grasp? Will they? So these are the things that started happening because it was 2 classes and then a lecture. It was when I was about midway the first class, I realized that this is going to work because these students really wanted to find out not just the dance moves, but the history of the moves. Where is it coming from? Because they were always dancing, and other people who came to them, and these were 80% Europeans that just look at the thing and came back and gave it to them. They were realizing now that somebody's here that can give me some more historical background. The eyes pop open. And then when we started explaining certain things about the dance and what propelled the dance and where the dance is coming from, the more you see the eyes pop open and the focus, then you realize that, this is the right thing to do.
All right,
then it was a different level of respect that people started to show towards the culture itself, because before people just dance and just take what them feel for tech, and just figure it's on YouTube, so use it.
All right. And so, I mean, practically and realistically, I'm sure you have a man, you think about your family, you think about your personal situation, you think about economics, because you have to.
Yeah, man.
You have to.
Have to.
So, with that door opening, did you see that as an avenue to start saying, all right, we can do more than just, get by. You know what I mean? We can actually see my way out and actually make a career, not just a work, a career out of this.
Yeah.
How did your mind, you started wrap your mind around that, and how did that transform your whole way of thinking?
Let me tell you how important that transformed me, because for the better part of maybe 2005 or 2006, my focus was Dance Xpressionz. Orville, Shelley, Stacy, Amoy, Shireen, at the time, the 5 fingers of the hand, that's what we call ourselves. What I asked these 4 females to do for me, when I said to them, I think we can take this to the street, but you are not going to do for me. Finish the associate degree, and then we take it to the street, because inner city picnic them, females them in dance hall. Most females are seen as a piece of meat. Them only dance and go up on them head and race. So I say every time you go up and phone on head and jump and spread out in a dance hall, if somebody asks why you do, you should have, the clinical term and the clinical explanation for tell them why you do. And they all did their thesis on different areas. Shelley looked at the link between traditional folk form and dancehall movements, what looked like what. Stacey looked at fashion in dancehall. Shireen looked at the music, linking the music with the dance and how the beats influence the movements. And they all did their thesis. So we took it to the street, and I made good of the promise, say, we are going to take it out there and we are going to become a brand.
Okay.
So during this time now, when we got to 2012 now, when this door opened for me, I realized that now I need to work on brand Orville again, because I spend a whole heap of time with Xpressionz, but at the same time, because of like Dancing Dynamite and because of working with World Reggae Dance, Orville can't just come with Dance Xpressionz anymore, because
this is stand on them to be to a level,
to a level. You get what I say?
Two separate.
So me I say no, I've built Dance Xpressionz. I need to send them out on them own now, so them can do them thing, and then brand Orville need to be able to stand on his own. So this was the perfect opportunity. So me see this now. This is my money now. This is me going away, and I didn't feel like I was leaving anybody behind, because I did fix brand Xpressionz, and then I just needed this opportunity to step out there, and then I could bring
So it sounds to me like you would have got and break some new ground, so you could have bring them along again at the same time. Yeah.
To date, Orville Hall and Dance Xpressionz write 60 or 70% of the job letters for dancers that leave Jamaica. Plus, every member of my team, that's a part of the core team, travels. In April of this year, April coming, 5 members of Dance Xpressionz will be going to Russia, to Germany, to do the first ever dancehall musical that we created here in 2017. So my job has never been selfish. My job has always been opening doors so people can go through and see. I just want people to understand that there are certain things that you have to go out there with. Professionalism is not regulated to any one person or any one institution. It's what you do from your service, brother. You have to be early. You have to be a people person. There are certain things where you can't go.
You're looking at the camera and say them one day. Trust me, because I think that is some people overlook. Those soft skills, trust me.
That is what is important.
Employers need to see that in order to have confidence in you. So why go back over them and talk to the people again?
So professionalism is, some people feel like, say, okay, so we have some dancers where you're reaching out the people in the country, and the first thing you want to do is go on a spliff and, you know what I mean, get something for drink and rave. I mean, I said to them, say, no, that's not the space for it. I land in Switzerland already, and a girl leave and drive go somewhere, and then she come back with a bag of herb, and I say, so I say, why? So she said, but when the dancers come here, that's what they want. I say, yeah, but that's not what I do. That's not me. My focus is the class, you know. And then you have people talking ill about some of the Jamaican dancers that travel because them not focusing them class, and them look like them high in them class. And so we have said, brethren, being on time is not something that you're doing for the client. It's what you're supposed to do for
as
you.
A professional.
It build your credibility for people to want. It's not the hiring, you know, it's the rehiring in our business. You know?
Absolutely.
It's the rehiring and the fact that you can be contracted, because we don't necessarily have a steady thing doing 365 days for the year. It's not a 9 to 5.
Right.
So you have to be creating different things to do for people to hire you.
You have to make sure you leave a good impression, so that people will call you back.
How do you relate to your people? How do you, even may have issues with my people if I call them phone and them answer it away. I say, listen, it never must be me. You know, just how you answer your phone, how you talk to people, how do you teach a class, how do you break down the class for people to understand what you're saying, so people can tell somebody else, say, if you go to Jamaica and you need to take a class, that's how I survive. It's almost like if anybody come here for do a class and don't do a class with me, when them go back, the people them say to them, say, you're mad. You actually go to Jamaica and don't do a class with Orville Xpressionz. That's another cause. There's no hype surrounding that. That is what I created. I created that kind of thing. And it all comes as a part of professionalism. Just how you conduct yourself. If you don't know, go learn. Go find out from somebody. I didn't go in an etiquette class or a class where tell you, say, this is how you be professional. Part of it is in school. Part of it is watching how other people conduct themselves and understanding the things that you must do in this business. It is nobody's business when a man buy a ticket and thing there and book your hotel. I don't live here and go stay in a people's house. I have a contract with a rider, and it states, this is what I'm doing.
Once I get him, just skip over. You just say you have a contract. Why? You have to value yourself enough to understand that you are selling a professional service.
Yes, man.
You not do a thing for your man.
No, we're past that stage there. And that is what I did with dance. And I think I have called so many meetings with dancers. I just send out message and say, I'm going to forward at the studio, because when your foot stop work, where you gonna have, you know, there has to be a certain level of knowledge where you know you can sit down and pass it on to people. So me always call meetings with dancers and I say to them, say, contract up on yourself, you know, brother. It is important, you know. The music I do it, you know. So you cannot hustle your profession. You cannot. The word hustle is one of the most dangerous word for for me, for the black man, me always say that, the word hustle. Because hustle always tell you that you have to do it a kind of under the table way.
Right.
So even when, even when you're making a certain amount of money, you still say, boy, I'm fed up on the hustle, you know. I mean, I say that mindset alone, brother,
it don't sound
is
professional.
wrong.
It don't sound
You have to make the thing professional, brother. So you tell people. So before I leave here, I've left here for the first thing is me tell people, say, I cannot be out of my country. A month is the maximum I can be out of my country because I run a business here.
Right.
So the first thing you have to send to me is my itinerary. Where am I going? The dates, how much off time I have. I have to know all of these things, so this have to be sent to me. All of my flight tickets and Dance Xpressionz take care of making sure that, you're going flying from Germany to Poland. This is a 3-hour flight. Please don't book him on this flight or that flight because they only take 15 kilo. And he might travel stay in Europe for a month. So there are key little things where you can't just fly because when I go do the rest of my clothes. So if I book him on a flight where I take 23 kilo, and so there are a number of little things where dancers get caught in because someone is not listening. Because I volunteer information in a brother. Me not the youth where go and like more lock myself in a corner and if a man don't know him go buck up. I volunteer information so you can know because I am thinking not just for Orville Hall or Dance Xpressionz. I think about the next generation. I think about educating the next generation so that when you go out there, you're representing the island of Jamaica. It's bigger than me and you. And if you can't think that way, then you're stuck.
No,
I mean,
that's fun. I mean, that's amazing. I didn't even fathom that you had taken it to that kind of level.
Yeah, man.
To be thinking contract, to be thinking management, to be thinking itinerary, to be thinking
yes, brother.
Like how I'm going to structure my day and structure my time as I perform this service for you. I mean, it's like a lot of the time you might just be thinking, boy, brother, give me a work in there, I do a thing for you.
Yeah.
So it's
wrong
like
mentality.
It's a wrong mentality completely.
Yeah,
you have to value yourself as a professional to then turn around and say, okay, this is what I require. And so let me ask you this now. Have there ever been times when you have to say to a person, look, we can't do business because even though you give me money for do a job or whatever, the circumstances just not seem right. You know what I'm saying? So how do you manage situations like that?
Yeah.
Because many people would just say, boy, the man a pay me, so I need the money right now, so therefore anything goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but there Again, is self-worth is very important. Self-worth. So you have to take some time with. Before I went out into the world and started teaching dancehall movements, I had to teach myself the movement, because now I'm not going out in the world go tell a man, say, move your hands so, move your foot so. The education I got in school about the use of the body tell me that when you take your pelvis and go so and pull it under is a contraction, and that's a universal term in dance. If you put your two heels together as first position, and that's a universal term in dance. So I practice that, so when I go out there I know how to speak the language. So when I look at all the things that I have to break down and how I structure my class, and by extension the other things that I've done, and people have been absolutely pleased with it, then if you are going to fall, there's always compromise, but if you ever fall too short of that, brother, then me not think you worth my time. Like when you find out my value, and the minute you stop to really realize what I am taking to you, you're not gonna hesitate to give me, because I'm, all who know me know, say, me not pressure people. Me not pressure people for certain things. There's certain fundamental things me ask for when me leave here. You can put me in a box, make sure Wi-Fi is there. I run a business in Jamaica. Just make sure say it warm and Wi-Fi is there, so me can click and say to my people, what is happening? This is
XYZ.
So from you can accept that and you understand how that go, then we're good, we can work.
Not even I get the time to show some people some love on social media. On Facebook, Andrew Thompson saying he brought masculinity to dance hall way before Bogo. Said my big you up, show you some love.
Respect, brother.
Andrew
Blessed
Thompson
love.
says, when is the book coming? It sound like you need to publish based on all the thoughts and everything that you have put together about dance hall, and even probably just a manual and to young professionals, to young entrepreneurs, say, there are ways to do this. You know what I'm saying? You need to take yourself as a professional.
We can tell you, sir, the writings start, brother. Me just know, put them together yet, but the writing start. Like when I fly some of the time on the long distance flying, yeah man, in my phone I write down things because I know I have to do a book. You know.
So like you have lots to share, right? Yes. So like you need to put it down to posterity so people can check it out and understand what I'm going.
For real, brother. Respect.
Marsha Sampson saying big up Villa.
That's my cousin.
All right.
Big up Marsha.
Big up Marsha. Audrey Chambers saying, I repeat, I can't stay out of my country for a month. I run a business. I am happy I am not the only one who has this view.
Okay. Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. Real talk.
On
real
Facebook,
talk.
Big Z King saying, big up the journalist, big up back Big Z King. We know who he is. Big much love, respect. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate that.
Blessed.
DSN, I can't pronounce that so well. So I'm just saying, do it, bro. So I'm show you something.
Yeah, man. Respect, brother. Respect all the time, you know.
No, you touch on it. You run a business.
Yes. Yes.
When did Orville Hall become a business owner? Did Orville Hall ever think business owner, entrepreneur would have been titles associated with his name beyond just Orville Hall dancer?
By the way, I love dance. I saw somebody maybe running a business for me.
You just do the dancing and somebody run the business.
Because always the way I love just physically moving and the joy where it bring people and the things where people say how them respond to me dancing, you know. But then when the business started to take form, then I realized now say I have to get some more administrative skills and you know I have to start focus on what will happen. This is when I really start focus on training some people to go out there and actually do the physical part of it, and I will focus on the development of the business. And this was really, even when I started the formal studio in 2012, I don't think it soaked in until 2 years later that you know you're a businessman now, you're a businessman now, you know, and that's when it was the renewal. It was the renewal of my business registration.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
right.
the registration of the business that I sit down and we in at the registration place and I said to Shelley, say, we're actually operating a business, you know. We have to start treat that thing like a real business, you know, and just the fact that I was able to pay people a salary, you know, felt really good.
So when did Orville Hall realize that he could start a business? Anyway, when did you come to the realization that, you know what, we can actually, so what was the catalyst? What made you think that, okay, me I dance and this is cool and everything good and everything like that, but what was the moment that make you realize, you know what, I think this could actually translate into a business in the sense that I could have started earn from this over, not just as a one-off, but like as a over a period of time going forward?
When corporate people started asking me to get dancers to do things for them. So them have an event coming up and they must say, I need 5-6 dancers. I only have 4 in my team. I had to get 2 other dancers. The job is done. I paid the 2 dancers. Then somebody asked me for 10 dancers. Then one day, boom, a big company say, I need 300 dancers for a big event that is going to be happening at this place. And I got 300 dancers and did a choreography with them. I sectionalized them into groups of 50, and the dancers who are better, I made them leader of that team. I'm going to work out the thing with the group of dancers that I have and then put them out there for work with the dancers. And then standing there and watching it unfold is when I realized, say, I should make this into a business. I should put myself in a position where people can call me and say, get some dancers and get this done. Right. And then the more I did it, and because I threw my heart in it so much, people were pleased, and I was recommended to other people, you know. So it was a fitting thing to do.
We'll just take a quick. Maureen Moore is asking, what are we talking about today? Maureen, we're here with Orville Hall, Dance Extraordinaire. I mean, just Google him. You know, he's like Jamaica's like dance ambassador, if you will. And he's talking about, she's sharing elements of his journey that have allowed him to monetize his creative abilities, specifically his ability to dance and entertain people, and use that to create a career for himself, create a lane for himself, start businesses, employ other youngsters, and just basically doing it big. So if you have questions for Orville, I'd love for you to send them in so we can keep the conversation going. Now, Orville, being able to work with corporate is itself a discipline, because as a young man from the garrison who come up, you understand that corporate require, you are dealing with dancers which have a particular stigma, of a particular situation. but yet still people think that, boy, them hire me so they might get me, you understand? They might get authentic dancehall me, but it don't work like that for corporate all the while. So how did you navigate that space and then learn lessons from it and be able to transmit that to other youngsters?
But I'm happy you asked that question there, because the blueprint of what happens in dancehall now was written by Dance Xpressionz. The blueprint for people working in the corporate space, doing dancehall in corporate space, was written. We were the guinea pigs, you know. The tights too short. Don't make them wear tights, make them wear shorts. Shorts must be knee length. It was nice. The dress code wasn't bad, but them whine a little bit too much. Could I get more, little less whining? Could I get more hand gestures? So, and this was at a time when Dance Xpressionz was the go-to group for corporate functions, and I had to be constructing, reconstructing, having conversations with people, negotiating and saying, well, you can't make them take out everything, so as to not water it down completely. Right. You know, so
it's like a balance.
Yeah, man. So it was a tedious process, but it's something that had to be done because the fact that, I was happy now that corporate Jamaica was even looking at us to say, yeah, man, we want some dancehall things. So we focused on things that was more corporate friendly. All of the dance them where have the hand moves them where people can do, if it's the thunderclap them, if it's the to the world and whatever. So that is how we broke ourselves into it. And then when we ease where we're in now, the waistline movements, and this is why the pet project for Dance Xpressionz when we're out there is me giving them a history behind where the dance is concerned. So when people see the gyration in the body, them understand the Afrocentric nature of the dance. So it is more appreciated rather than you just put them up there half naked and have them gyrating them body. So for me, it was really a process, but a process that I'm so happy to have gone through to be able to pass it on to other people and say, when it comes on to corporate Jamaica, your job is to please the client. And the client, the fact that the client wants you is good enough. So find the middle ground. If there is something that you need to explain to them why this shouldn't be taken out, explain to them why it shouldn't be taken out. But you have to have something plausible. You have to have something that makes sense to them. You know, it can't just be you just saying, yeah, but I dance all, you know,
Don't ignore that part when I'm just saying a while ago. The ability to properly express why you do what you do, and why they might have an objection, you're able to say to them, we do this because.
Yeah, man.
This happens because. You can't ignore and overlook that. That is some people just think, boy, this me doing, and if they don't want it, well, I just eat that.
It don't work like that.
It don't work like that. You can't keep your foot in the door.
You're right. If and there are sections of dancehall that tends to have a bit of arrogance about it, and in most things where you have the core participants, them get so high strung on the thing that they're not able to step out of it and look on it. As a professional, you have to be able to do that, step out of it and look at it and say, what are we really taking there? Kumina is something that will scare the average person if you see Kumina in the field. Yeah? The dance that has been done for over 40 years at NDTC is a Kumina piece that sponsors pay to have that piece be a part of the season because they're sponsoring it. They must say, it me want. Corporate people, you know why? Because the late, great Professor Rex Nettleford understood how to take Kumina out of the field, put it on stage, so it is pleasing to the eye, visually, but still authentic enough to be there for corporate people to say, I want to hear them drums, I want to see them spew the room out of mouth, because him keep some of the authenticity to it, but he was able to compromise with them people here. And it was a win-win situation. Now, if him did say, no, based on what me see out of St. Thomas, that if I know that we're going to do then
it don't make no sense.
It can't work that way, brother. So we have to be able to reach that middle ground, and because whatever is happening in Jamaica as a part of corporate Jamaica, you being able to highlight yourself in that space is being a part of the Jamaican product. So you always have a look on that.
It sounds to me though as if what you've done purposely is to create levels to your situation, in the sense that Dance Xpressionz could go perform at a baby party.
Yes, man.
But at the same time, you could go perform in the biggest hardcore session.
Yeah, man.
So you have a product that caters to every potential audience.
Believe me, we've done 10-year-old parties, we've done 15-year-old, we've done Sweet 16, we've done all of them. And from dress code to mannerism, my people know when you alight from my vehicle, and we know says an 8-year-old party, all your walk change. You get what I say? Because we are known, what I intentionally build, is a dance group that focuses on dance hall, So just that alone, is a stigma where people are gonna say,
absolutely.
If them don't know. So if you're not prepared to create the look that goes with it, so people can say, oh, because professionalism is just that. It's just that. My group performed on the North Coast for years, and people can tell you this is not a group that you ever have any problem with. And there's a dancehall group coming there, but people are dressed in them suit and ray, and we alight from the vehicle and go to check in and to a room, and when we're ready, we get ready and we'll go do a performance and stop and talk to the audience a little bit, because them always want to engage them, and everybody have information where if somebody asks you about something about the show, you're supposed to be able to tell them. You're not just a dancer, but you're able to tell them, say, oh, okay, because the dance is about the evolution of the Jamaican music and dance from then till now. So everybody have that information there.
I tell you, I didn't. You really opened my eyes to it. I knew that you were taking it to a professional level, but I didn't realize the extent to which. And what would you credit as in terms of the journey to become this professional? And what would you say it was the experience at Xed, or was there anything in particular that let you realize that the professionalism had to be just as up there as the dance itself? So the professionalism had to be, if not even more, so that people can appreciate that Orville Hall is a professional, that he's selling a product that is also quality, but because in dealing with him, the experience is so pleasant that I have to make him come back and work again, and whatever the case.
Yeah. 1994, 95, when I was when somebody gave me a break to do grooming for artists at Tasty Talent competition, and I was working with some of the talent, including Mr. Vegas, some of these people who, and I was working, I didn't have any knowledge about certain things. It was just by being in that company and watching how other people operate that the lady said to me, say, you have a knack for this thing, and I think you should take it serious, because it was just helping some artists to know how to move on stage. That's where it started. And 1998, when I would say it felt like the peak of the career, because 1998, I choreographed every dance that went into the National Stadium when we were campaigning for World Cup. So I was running out in the National Stadium with 15 females behind me, having 30,000 people, and make a whole heap of noise, and them I say, before them know my name, them say the Ras and the girl them. That is the same year that I dropped everything and went to Exeter Community College as a big man, because I was out there doing it, and a friend said to me, say, if you don't formalize yourself, you'll never be paid your worth. You have to formalize yourself. Wow. That is when me drop everything, brother. I tell you, at a point when people know me and there was a whole heap of excitement, I'm going to college. Go sit down with me, a big man them time there. Go sit down with 17 or 18-year-old. But there was something inside me that said that you need to do it. Like you really need to do it. Are people not going to take you serious? I
think you just dropped the biggest bar I'm ever hear. If you don't professionalize yourself, you will never be paid your worth.
Never.
Trust me.
Yeah, man. You have to step out there and take the chance and get it done.
All right, seems like this one popped off. Let me see if we can start a new one.
Yeah, man. Bless up everybody upon the live, Swag boss, everything good, brother? Respect. All of the people who are checking.
All right.
Dimples.
So, we're prolong the thing for too much longer. Like I said, we don't want to keep Orville here, and we don't want things to just go.
Is that joy? Don't know. Is that joy?
We could have listened to him for so much longer because he's really dropping some significant information. And trust me, I mean, I just hope that people out there are just listening, not just to what I'm saying, but they might take it and internalize it and understand how they can apply it to their own personal life and personal situations. So if you're out there, you hustle. Tell them about the hustle mentality.
The hustle mentality is not the best mentality. The hustle mentality tell you say it can be done unprofessionally. It's a under the table kind of thing. Is you almost feeling like you're doing the client a favor. It must never be like that. I've seen dancers leave here and going to other people's country, and when them tell them say you're late for the class, they must say yeah, but I just 10 minutes. Like, no, 10 minutes for you. I had a rude awakening when I traveled with Stella Maris in 2002 when we went to Japan, and we realized that 5 o'clock is 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock is 3 o'clock.
Actually, them say 15 minutes early is early.
Yeah.
If you're on time, you're late.
Especially in Japan, the bus driver would get there every morning 15 minutes before the time that we leave, and he would just sit in the bus with the door open, and then at 9 o'clock, him close the door and drive off. So if you come downstairs a minute after 9, you're late. The bus gone, literally gone. So it was a rude awakening for some of us, and then we realized that different parts of the world operate differently, and if you understand, but when we speak about professionalism, we all operate the same way. There are just certain things where you're supposed to do, All
right. I think I'm going to leave it there. There's so much more we could talk about, but like I said, I don't want to prolong this, and before you start losing interest and tuning out and that kind of thing. Let me just share this last comment that I have from Maureen Moore. She's saying, okay, hello, Mr. Orville. Me and my girls watch you on Dancing Dynamites. How you know dancing was your trade? Because my girls always trying to move like your dancers. So they appreciate the work that you're doing, and they appreciate what you're doing. I mean, I'm very glad that you were able to come and share with our audience and our viewers some of the information that you've gained over the course of your career.
Yeah, man.
I know that you have acquired a lot. I know that you are somebody. You are someone that you might not even know how much people are watching you to know how they must move.
Yeah.
As a professional.
Yeah, man. Respect,
there are a lot of persons out there who have a skill, have a trade, and feel like, you know what, I mean, the brother here start a business, bring some people around him, some good people around him operate like this, he might work with corporate, he might do this, he might travel the world, he might do all of that. So, I mean, he might have examples, some of us can do it too, don't it?
Them not see me in a jacket and tie.
Exactly.
You see what I said? Them not see me in a jacket and tie. I'm still the brother will just, but I understand when you step in a certain space, it's your conduct. It's your conduct, and understanding you don't have to wear the jacket and tie, but you're going to wear something that fits the occasion. Yeah, right? Man. So it's important.
All right, Bill, I'm gonna just give you the last word just to talk to the youngsters and let them know about. Just give them what would be your key takeaway when it comes to monetizing your creative ability? And we're gonna wrap on that.
Yeah, man. The important thing is, and I'm going back to it, is being a student of your craft. Being a student of your craft will always tell you ways of how to monetize what you're doing. The more you learn about it is the more you have an appreciation for it, and it's the more you understand that whatever you're going to give to people must be of the highest standard, and people pay for quality. People pay for quality. So, educate yourself about what you're doing, step out there as a professional, know your worth, and collect your food.
Simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all right, people, it's time for us to wrap. Thank you to everyone who tuned into our discussion, especially those of you who sent in your questions and your comments. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you have a question, you want to send it in, go ahead. Don't worry, we'll go through afterwards, and we'll be able to link up with Orville and send it on to him if necessary, so that he can give you the kind of guidance. As a matter of fact, if people want to just link you up or send you a message or talk to you, how can they reach you?
Yeah, man, Orville Xpressionz on Instagram. That's where you can find me. You can send me a direct message, and the Xpressionz is Xpressionz. So it's Xpressionz without the E at the beginning, and instead of the S at the end, it's a Z.
You have a website and your actual location of your studio as well.
Oh yeah, the studio is at 121.5 Constant Spring Road. That's Millbrook Plaza. That's almost right across from the parking lot. There's a Dragon Court in that place, but you can't miss it going up Constant Spring Road. And yeah, man, we have a website as well. Just it's www.dancexpressionz. So yeah,
you can find you on there.
Yeah, man, you can find me there.
Pretty sure I saw and in the comments on Instagram earlier, somebody's asking when they go and bring dance classes to Maypin.
People, this has been in the making for 2 years. I'm trying for this summer to have a mobile dance class. We've been doing it by the system feet already, where we'll be moving into different parishes and having like a day or 2 days where we find a big venue and people just come in and we just do some things and move on to the next one. So, just check the press for details. And the press means IG, you never always put it out there,
All right, so I'm going to take dancing pan tour. You can look out for that.
Yeah, man, local tour.
Remember, our audience plays a major part in our show, so if there's anyone you'd like for us to have in studio, let us know, and we'll try to have that person in studio as soon as possible. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaica Information Service. We're everywhere, so you can just follow us and you get all this kind of information and more. Right? We do this every week, live on Facebook and Instagram. I've been your host, Vaughn Davis, and this has been Studio 58A Live. Thank you very much for joining us, and please have a wonderful day.
Blessed love.